Your red allies will share your fate.
ワンピーが選択したのはアズール。
じっくり楽しみましょうね。
Round 1. Fight! We are on a strict timetable. We will not interfere.
I like that choice. Round 1. Fight! We are on a strict timetable. We will not interfere. I like that choice. それでは行ってみましょう。
勝利プロセス構築完了。
ラウンド1。ファイト。まずは静かな立ち上がり。序盤はお互い様子見。
白時烈風六門四方技
の敵を
六門四方刀
技の敵を抜いた。
ここ白時烈風
ラッチにヒット。
ここ白時烈風
Make the most of this combo.
白時烈風こっちだ。
ラウンド取ったのはワンピー。ラウンド2。ファイト。ラウンド時は 2P。序盤の展開は若干 2P が
無意識無意識白時烈風白時烈風はいはいはいかぬ
そのビオリゾー。Make this one count.
ナユタの果てまでそうしているつもりか。賢者は言うだろう。貴殿の敗北はそれがしと出会った時から決まっていたと。敗北への抗議を開始する。
ラウンド1。ファイト。ハイランドジャンプ。
無影脚白時烈風白時烈風白時烈風無影脚六門四方刀
ラッチにヒット。
六門四方刀白時烈風白時烈風
Some damage. That's the tricks of the trade.
ナユタの果てまでそうしているつもりか。賢者は言うだろう。貴殿の敗北を。
Incoming another rival. Are you ready? Your red allies will share your fate.
ようやく出番か。
それでは行ってみましょう。
敗北への抗議を開始する。
ラウンド1
One.
ファイト。さあいよいよ始まりました。序盤はお互い様子見。
白空時烈風。
ワンピー。
白空時烈風。動かない方がいい。
High jump counter.
白風。ここか。届かぬ。届かぬ。
画面端に追い込んで。
動かない方がいい。
おい。
疾風。
おい。
疾風。
ダッシュにヒット。
KO. You
ラウ
win.
ンド選手したのはワンピー。ラウン
Round
ド2
2.
ファイト。開幕いきなり飛びが通る。
白空時烈風。
ダッシュにヒット。油断をしっかりガード。
ここか。白空時烈風。
技の手際をいきなり荒れた展開だ。
白空時烈風。
ダッシュにヒット。
白空時烈風。
You win.
ナユタの果てまでそうしているつもりか。
居合の真髄というものを教えてやる。
ラウンド1
1.
ファイト。開幕ジャンプ。
動かない方がいい。
Incoming another rival.
ワンピー。
Are you ready? Your red allies will share your fate. Round 1. Fight.
動かない方がいい。
First attack.
白空時烈風。白空時烈風。
High jump counter.
白空時烈風。こっちだ。メガデス。メガデス。メガデス。フィニッシャー。ランニング。メガデス。メガデス。フィニッシャー。ランニング。白空時烈風。動かない方がいい。白空時烈風。白空時烈風。
KO. You win. Round 2. Fight. First attack. High jump counter.
白空時烈風。メガデス。フィニッシャー。動かない方がいい。ランクージ。 通常一歩通常エル逆風烈風逆風烈風動かない方がいい通常一歩通常逆風烈風ナユタの果てまでそうしているつもりかその失意の表情
What fool? I shall bring a end to your suffering.
腐敗神話の
それでは行ってみましょう。
じっくり楽しみましょう
Round
1
one.
ファイト開幕ラウンドでいきなり飛びが通
逆
る
風烈風
いきなり一方的な展開となっている
逆風烈
すごい体力差蹴ってしまうラウンド取ったのは 1P
Perfect.
ラウンド
Round
2
two.
ファイトファーストアタックは 1P そのままの展開は
待ってのあの技よ
こっちだ
逆風烈風そのピオリと蹴ってしまう
ナユタの果てまでそうしているつもりか賢者は言うだろ
ラウンド1
One.
ファイト開幕ジャンプ
逆風烈風
取ったのは 1P
六門四方将
技の敵は相手の投げが通るはいここでリバーサル技の敵は
疾風
バババババババ
油断が通る
逆風烈風
体力ならんだ
ドブロ
波動
逆風
拳
烈風
それは表が
逆風烈風
あーっとピヨンってさあ起きてない
You
まず
win.
ラウンド選手したのは 1P ラウン
Round
ド2
two.
ファイト
逆風烈風
したのは 1P いきなり攻撃な展開とピオリスが変化してさあ画面
無影脚
打撃がされていたが投げているされたまさか波動拳
Incoming another rival. Are you ready? Enough traveling.
スーピー
ようやく出
が
番か
選
We
択した
shall
のは
grind their
ハ
bows
ズ
to dust.
1P 側選択したのはチャダおい時だおい時だそれでは行ってみましょ
じっくり楽しみましょうね
うラウン
Round
ド1
one.
ファイト取ったのは 1P
逆風烈
早い
風
じゃないかいきなり一方的な展開となっている投げがスメガで
六門四方
投げがスカル逆風のペン目指してるよ
動かない方がいい逆風烈風目からの逆風烈風
はいここでリバーサル投げがスカルリバーサルコース
逆風烈
技の敵はかっこいいなはいここですんごいこと
KO.
おそばに
ラウンド取ったのは 1P ラウンド 2
Two.
ファイト開幕ジャンプ
動かない方がいい逆風烈風逆風烈風
2B
目からのインパクト
技の敵は潰す
逆風烈風逆風烈風逆風烈風
2対1
六門四方将逆風烈風
投げて
先人乱空人逆風烈風動かない方逆風烈風逆風烈風目からの風潮インパクト目からの
見えてるから体力並んださあ大きい投げが重なっていたが
KO.
おそばに
You win.
世話が焼けるわね おとなしくしてちょうだい。
What fool?
ワンピーが
I shall bring a
ようやく出
pretend
番
to
か。
your suffering.
それでは行ってみましょう。
よろしくお願いします。
ラウンド1
One.
ファイト。開幕ジャンプ。先頭取ったのはワンピー。
白磁烈風。
やめやしのラッシュでヒット。
遊戯さん。
空率が半分超える。ラウンド取ったのはワンピー。ラウンド2
Two.
ファイト。先頭取ったのはツーピー。
白磁烈風。
序盤の展開はいきなりさあ画面端。
疾風。白磁烈風。
そこに寄ってしまう。
見切れなかった。
届かぬ。
ダメだった。
立て、ナユタの果てまでそうしているつもりか。アイアム忍者。
居合の真髄というものを教えてやる。
ラウンド1
One.
ファイト。開幕ジャンプ。
白磁烈風。
ファーストアタックはワンピー。
白磁烈風。
よりいきなり攻撃な展開となっている。ラッシュにヒット。
六門四方
そろそろラッシュにヒット。使いやすいよ。攻撃に潰す。波動
白
拳。
磁烈風。動かない方がいい。
最後は
You
まず
win.
ラウンド選手したのはワンピー。ラウン
Round
ド2
two.
ファイト。開幕ファーストアタックはツーピー。
白磁烈風。白磁烈風。無影脚。
序盤のしゃがんでダメだっていきなり荒れた展開だ。
無影脚。
使いやすいよ。サード方向はカンラッシュにヒット。
おそばに。
ツ
You
ーピー
lose.
がラウンド取り返す。ファイナル
Round
ラウンド
final.
ファイト。開幕ジャパンアタックはワンピー。ただ空気を
動かない方がいい。
落としている。前
動かない方がいい。
いきなり荒れた展開だ。切り返す。
白磁烈風。
I shall counter.
動かない方がいい。
波動
白
拳。
磁烈風。白磁烈風。ヤンクージン。
KO. Good.
立て、ナユタの果てまでそうしているつもりか。マンサカタサニマ。貴殿は
ラウンド1
One.
ファイト。開幕ジャンプ。
白磁烈風。動かない方がいい。
ワンピー。
せい、上からだ。
序盤の展開はラッシュにヒット。いきなり打撃を一歩打撃を一方的な表で雄大が通る。
白磁烈風。
ラッシュにヒット。最後は
You
まず
win.
ラウンド選手したのはワンピー。ラウンド
Round
2
two.
ファイト。開幕ジャンプ。
動かない方がいい。上からだ。
どんどん下がって
白
前を
磁
飛ば
烈風。
ワンピー。いきなり攻撃な展開となっている。コマンド投げトス。
動かない方がいい。
こっちだ。
技の敵を潰す。投げ切り返してグリッド。体力3割ゲット。
ヤンクージン。
Don't give him any room to breathe.
無影脚。
Neither. Who needs to use it intelligently anyway?
KO.
立て、ナユタの果てまでそうしているつもりか。ア I am ninja. 勝利プロセス構築完了。
Round 1.
ファイト。マイナスジャンプ。
ジェットナック。
波動球。ダッシュにヒット。そろそろビオリゾー。やってしまう。
いいパンチだ。
You
まず
win.
ラウンド選手したのは 1P。ラウンド 2。
2.
ファイト。ダッシュにヒット。いきなり攻撃ができる。ダッシュ終盤。からでもよ。そろそろビオリゾー。
動かない方がいい。逆時で
再力並んだ。
逆時で
やってしまう。
いいパンチだ。逆時で
ここでリバーサル。
動かない方がいい。はいシック。どっちだ。立て。ナユタの果てまでそうしているつもりか。敗北への抗議を開始する。
ラウンド1。
1.
ファイト。開幕。
動かない方がいい。
スーピー表からダッシュにヒット。
逆時で逆時で動かない方がいい。逆時で逆時で
いきなり攻撃が展開としている。
逆時で逆時で
This combo.
逆時で逆時で逆時でランクージ新人ランクージおそばに。
ラウンド取ったのはスーピー。ラウンド2。
2.
ファイト。開幕。ジャンプ取ったのは 1P。
逆時で
いきなり攻撃が展開としている。
逆時で
ダッシュラリが通る。
無影脚。
ガード崩されて
行く。
最後は
おそばに。
1P がラウンド取り返す。ファイナルラウンド。
Final.
ファイト。開幕。ジャンプ。シュートを取ったのはシーバッツギル。ワンプット。シーバッツギル。ダメージに追い込んでいきなり攻撃が展開となっている。技数は使い出した。
逆時で逆時で
Some damage. That's the trade.
そばに。
You lose.
ナユタの果てまでそうしているつもりか。アイアム忍者。
9. 8. 7. What fool? I shall bring a quick end to your
選
suffering.
択したのはアズール。
Select the one to fight. Let's get it on. Let's get it on now. Select and make your first pick.
勝利プロセス構築完了。
ラウンド1。
1.
ファイト。
無影
ファーストアタックはスーピー。
スピア KO
ダッシュにヒット。いきなり荒れた展開。ダッシュにヒット。
無影脚逆時で無影脚。
ダッシュラリが通る。
逆時で
打撃を
ランクージ新人逆時で
最後は
おそばに。
ラウンド取ったのはスーピー。ラウンド2。
2.
ファイ
届かない。逆時で
ト。スーピー。
無影脚。
Stay scared.
いきなり荒れた展開だ。波動拳。波動拳。やってしまう。
Stay scared. 'cause
逆時
here
で
it comes.
おそばに。
ラ ワンピーラーラウンド取り返す
Round. Final.
ファイトファイナルカウントを取ったのはスーピーいきなり攻撃が展開をしている
ナユタの果てまでそうしているつもりか。まだすぐに済むよ。
ラウンドワン
One.
ファイト
下がりかない。
逆スーピー
判定の化け。
スーピーの投げが攻撃をダッシュはい画面端これはいい勝利
Well, it's you, me, princess. Why did you said that? Mash it! Mash it! Hit corner!
Good. You
ラウンド
lose.
選手したのはスーピーラウンド2
Two.
ファイトラストアタックはスーピーはい
Their triple R equals performance. Their triple R is the Just know he told this opponent, well, they just need a full mute button to make the...
ゆっくり起き上がってはいここでリラックスダッシュでヒット
判定が連続判定強い判定だ
KO.
ワンピーラーラウンド取り返す
Round. Final.
ファイトスーピー
Good.
ゆっくり起き上がって波動拳波動拳
Will it,
いき
will
な
it?
り攻撃が展開している
Princess. Set it up.
切
Set
り
it up.
返しダッシュでスーピーを落とす
下がれ。
やってしまう
そばに。
You
勝っ
lose.
たのはスーピー
続きはもう少しまともに話く。
Nine. We're on a strict
ピー
time
を
limit.
選択したのは
I'm just gonna leave this one alone for now. It's one of two, and then it shows two of two. That means somebody just joined the room. So after I've ranked matches. But you can also set it here before you start. This
One.
is just what it's going
フ
to
ァイ
be.
トファイナルカウントを取ったのはスーピー
You can still adjust it manually. And also here is where you
Back door's bolted, but...
いきなり荒れた展開
Incoming another rival. Are you ready?
Another thing to keep in mind is if you don't want to run it full screen or if it shows up too stretched, you can set it to 2x zoom here so you get a nice big window and you can play it that way.
We're on a strict
ようやく出番が。
Detail that I would like to go over in this
それでは行ってみましょう
よろしくお願いします
Please ensure ports
Round
5005
one.
up to
Fight!
5005
まずは静かな立ち上がり
are open for online matching.
大胆に間合いを縮めるファーストアタックはスーピー
白空時
その展開は若干スーピーをしているかこれは表ガード
Alright. Welcome everyone. This will be the first of a few I've been making this version of Yatagarasu, version Japanese indie is coming soon. The planned release date is some certain to let you know. Hopefully
さあ起きて
You win.
ナユタの果てまでそうしているつもりか。マンサカタサギ。勝利プロセス構築完了。
ラウンド1
One.
ファイト開幕いきなり飛びが止まるいきなり攻撃な展開となっている半分超えるすごい体力差
Alright. Hello everyone. This is Juicebox again. This is going to be the fourth and final video on the mechanics and the systems that are going on in Yatagarasu. The previous 2 videos covered everything except parries, and parries are concerned the appropriate buttons. You'll notice that I can just sort of press these buttons whenever I want. Those 2 lighted boxes show up, button lock. And alright. So, parries in this game are officially referred to as button lock. You have a high button lock and a low button lock. And you can do the parry.
Round 1. Fight!
まずは静かな立ち上がり。スープロはポケモンゲランヒット。序盤の展開は若干 2P が押しているか 2P が落としている。
I jump counter.
仮上が見てる。ラウンド取ったのは 2P。 ラウンド2。 ファイト。開幕ジャンプ。1P。
動かない方がいい。
Okay, make the most of this combo. Move out of time. I'm scared of any low attacks.
動かない方がいい。
波動拳。波動拳。ひたすら波動を続ける。はい。もう決まる。上からの。やったー。
Or button locks by pressing the appropriate buttons. You'll notice that I can just sort of press these buttons whenever I want. Those 2 lighted boxes show up, and there's no recovery per se on a parry. You can attempt it whenever you want, and it is more or less safe. More or less, I'm going to get into the specifics of in just a moment here. But as far as parries are concerned, the actual press of the button produces the parry attempt. If you hold it, nothing is really going on, and releasing it does nothing. So only the press of the button is what matters here. You might say, well, why can't I just press both buttons and parry everything at the same time if there's no recovery? Well, because... pressing both parry buttons at the same time only gives you a high parry. Okay, so high parry out-prioritizes low parry on the input hierarchy. So pressing both only gives you a high parry, so it doesn't really do anything. You can only parry one zone at a time. And an important thing that separates parries in this game from, say, parries in Third Strike is that you can parry while blocking. So you can be holding back or you can be holding down back and you can still parry both zones. I'm holding back and I parried low. Holding down back and I parried high. Holding down back, parry low. Holding back, parry high. So you can parry the zone that you are not blocking in this game. So that makes it, makes defense a little bit stronger in this game, or at least it would appear to. Block high, low parry. Block low, high parry. Okay. And if you are in the air, if you are in the air, either button works. It doesn't matter which button you press. Woo. Also, there's one other thing that really separates the parry in this game from Third Strike, and it's kind of an important thing, but there is a way to increase the parry window on your parries. Let me go ahead and try to illustrate this.
Incoming another rival. Are you ready?
Okay, I want to show you here that, let's see here. Notice here when I'm pressing the parry, I'm pressing it just as Ko gets to the top of his jump. And I'm a little bit early. I keep getting hit by that. See that? I'm early because I'm pressing that parry button. Oh, there you go. That was just right. Like, as you can see, because I'm pressing this button too early, I'm not really doing anything good. But I can increase the parry window like I was saying. We fail again. There we go. Ouch. Too early. Too early. Watch this. Notice how early I pressed that, but that actually worked that time. Nope. Little too early. This is a very, 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 very small thing. This is not going to be something that, as a beginner, is going to be incredibly important. But if you press forward before you press a high parry, or while you press a high parry, you actually increase the window that that high parry can come out. Again, you have to be holding forward, and you press high parry, and that increases the window for the high parry by just a couple of frames. Okay? And you can also do that with a crouching parry by holding down forward. Okay, I'll illustrate here. I'm holding, let's see here, I'm gonna hold straight down, so that if I miss the parry, I'm gonna get hit here. I'm gonna hit it too early. Too early, right? Too early. Too early. But if I hold down forward... Nope, it's still too early. There we go. A little later. Just before they land. Too early. Just before they land. Too early. Holding down forward. Just before they land. Right. Okay. So as you can see, I'm parrying at just about the same time. Just before Ko hits the ground, I hit the low parry. But if you hold down forward, you increase the window on the low parry. Now, this actually also applies while holding back, the window changes. While holding forward, the window changes on both high and low parries. While holding down back, the window changes on high and low parries. On down forward, the window changes on high and low parries. If you would like a breakdown of the actual numbers of how many frames it actually increases and decreases those parry windows, one of the links in the more info section is a Google document in English that has a bunch of translated information from the Japanese wiki. We've translated a bunch of those numbers, and basically what it comes down to is holding forward on a high parry and holding down forward on a low parry is the best way to increase the windows of those parries. Holding back or down back, or being at neutral for various parries, including in the air, okay, changes the windows for those parries, and you can read about those numbers in that guide. But it's one of the ways that parrying is different in this game from Third Strike. You can actually increase the windows of those parries, so you can make it more likely for those parries to actually work. If you are familiar with Third Strike, there is something called a red parry. Basically, a red parry is exactly the same as a regular parry, except you can do it during a true block string. Okay? So this super fireball here is a true block string. There's nothing that I can do in the middle of these fireball things. Like, as soon as I block the first one, there's really nothing that I can do. I can't uppercut, I can't super, I can't do anything. If I let go of the stick, I get hit. So I have to guard the whole thing, right? So you might say, well, I have no life, I don't want to guard the whole thing. If you have perfect timing, you can parry in the middle of a true block string. And this produces a red graphical effect. If you mistime this parry, your guard is broken and you will get hit. If you try to parry during a true block string and you screw it up, then you're gonna get hit. An example here. Try to parry high, I'm gonna get screwed up. Ow. Try to parry high. Ow. See? I'm holding back, so I should be able to block high attacks. But because I attempted to parry a true block string, that opened up my guard. Okay? But if you time it perfect... time it perfect. A little early. Bam. If you time it perfect, you absolutely can parry a true block string and then screw him up. Get this in the corner here. Oh, I'm terrible. There we go. Not too early. There we go. So, ultimately what a red parry enables you to do is if your opponent's strings are very, very predictable and you know that they always do 3 crouching light kicks, you could learn, say in training mode, the timing to red parry the 3rd one and then punish them for that. Whether it's on block, excuse me, if they always do like a true block string, if you always know that they're completely safe, you can practice red parry timings to try and screw them up for that. But the window on a red parry is 3 frames. Again, there's more information in that document if you'd like to look that up. That is a way that you can take advantage of a predictable opponent if you spend the time in training. Let's see here. So, with all this information, you might say, well, why wouldn't I just mash parry all the time? You know, I can parry low while blocking high, I can parry high while blocking low. Why don't I just do this? And how am I not, you know, completely undefeatable? And let me give you 2 major answers. When you attempt to press a parry, there is a window of time that has to pass. Okay? If the window of time does not pass, then pressing the parry button again does not produce a parry attempt. So, if you do this, and you mash on a parry button, none of these button presses are actually producing parries, because I'm not letting the recovery window of the parry attempt pass. The window, I don't know exactly how big it is, but it's about this big. Okay? Ultimately, if you're mashing on a parry button, you're not actually parrying anything. Just to illustrate. See this? Parrying high. Why aren't I parrying this fireball? I'll tell you why. Because you're not letting that parry button actually recover. So none of this is a parry. You have to wait for it. And you have to time it right. This does nothing. That is true of both high and low parry. If you're just pressing the buttons willy-nilly, every single button press after the first one doesn't really produce an actual parry. Okay, now these are independent, so you could be mashing low parry, and then you time the high parry correctly. That's fine. But of course, mashing low parry is doing nothing. Basically, you're just timing a high parry properly. They are independent of each other. So the recovery for high parry does not spill over into what allows you to low parry and vice versa. Okay? Let's see. Now, so that's one reason why you don't want to mash parry. Now, let's say you're not mashing and you're actually attempting to time all your parries properly. Well, you know, is there still some sort of risk? Like, if I block high and just parry low once on wake up, is that relatively safe? Well, the answer is kind of, okay? The idea is, if you attempt to parry, but then you are hit because you parried the wrong zone, or because you tried to parry during a 2 block string and you screwed up, what's called a BL counter is registered, okay? I'm going to turn BL counter on right here. Okay, so BL stands for button lock. But if you BL counter someone on the ground, if they try to parry low and you hit them high, if they try to parry high and you hit them low, okay, you get an extra 50% damage on whatever it is that BL counter. You can BL counter with specials, with command normals, with pretty much anything. You'll also notice that the dummy will parry some things when you set them to BL counter, and that's because if the dummy parries something while BL counter is on, it's because that move can be parried both high and low, so it's unlikely you're actually going to BL counter with that move. Okay? So what does a BL counter on the ground get you? Well, it gets you extra hit stun and an extra 50% damage. This close fierce does 85-20. Turn BL counter off. And close fierce does, guts recover, 5,500. Okay? So 5,500. But then the BL counter comes on, and I get 8250, so that's quite a nice extra chunk of damage, but you also get extra hit stun. Normally, Crow's Close Fierce doesn't combo into anything unless you cancel it, right? But by itself, if you BL counter, you could link a super, and you can also link some other things. I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss it a few times. Too early. There we go. If you have really good timing on a BL counter, you can create links for yourself. On the ground, when you BL counter someone, you get an extra 3 frames of hit stun on that attack. And if you do continue the combo, let's say you land this crouching light kick here, that crouching light kick has 2 extra frames of hit stun. So it's kind of like a fatal counter in some of the other fighting games like Blaze Blue and such, where you get increased hit stun on a number of attacks. You BL counter, that hit has 3 extra frames of hit stun. The next hit in the combo has two extra frames of hit stun, and the next hit in the combo has 1 extra frame of hit stun. So it builds on itself, and you can create some really damaging combos, especially with, say, Shimo. Shimo has some great ways of taking advantage of BL counters. Time it wrong. There we go. No, did it wrong. So that's basically this game's version of getting extra hit stun. Is if someone tries to parry something, but you conk them in the face because they hit the wrong zone. That's one thing you can do to discourage mashing a parry on the ground. But Juice, what about mashing parry in the air? What if I just time a parry on a jump in? What can they do about that? Well, it's even better in the air. If you BL counter someone in the air, because you hit them right after their parry window, let's just take a step back here. On the ground, there's the high and the low. So you would BL counter them if they try to parry the wrong zone. They parry high, you hit them low. They parry low, you hit them high. But in the air, there's no high-low hit zones. So you BL counter someone in the air by hitting them right after they attempt to parry, and they parry too early. If you BL counter someone in the air, you pop them up for a juggle. And the extent of that juggle is character specific. Some characters get kick-ass BL counter combos like Chada or Crow here. Hey! Oh. Counter! Hey! 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 You can get some absolutely ridiculous, meatless combos, by the way. If someone attempts to parry in the air and they time it wrong, you just go pop. Boom! Now you don't get all of that. With Crow, you get 5 hits. Doesn't matter where they come from, you get 5 more hits. Best one I can find is Light Tatsu, Light Tatsu, Light Tatsu, Fierce Uppercut. There's probably better ones after that, but ultimately, you can BL counter with anything that isn't a light punch or a kick. You can BL counter with a special move, with a command normal. Just get 1 hit. Boom. Too early. I'm bad. Too early. Bam, there we go. So that BL counter that pops up, you get the same 5 hits, Assuming you don't accidentally air reset them with a normal, you get 5 hits with Crow. The extent of the BL counters you get with other characters is character specific. Some characters get a lot, some characters don't get so much. And so that was a balanced decision that was made by the designers. For example, Shimo. Shimo has great command dash pressure. Shimo has great ways of discouraging ground parries from ground to air. She doesn't get a great BL counter if she lands. But Crow has a great one. Chada has a great one. And there are some other good examples as well. Please check my character tutorial videos in the future for more specific examples. And whether a BL counter happens in the air or on the ground, that BL counter, of course, will still do an extra 50% damage. So, there's one last thing with parries. You might have been asking this entire time, what are those little blue lights that appear next to the parry windows when you actually parry something? And BL counter noise there. There we go. Notice that when I parry something, next to those little parry boxes, there are these little blue bullets that appear. Little blue meters, you could say, okay? What those are telling you is how close to the point of impact you actually parry. If you parry an attack as late as possible, you'll get 1 blue bar. So if there's more blue bars, that means that you hit the parry and you were successful, but further away. Notice, I'm hitting this one a little bit before it hits me, but it's still successful, and I get more blue bars. If I do it a little later, I get just the 1. If you do it too early and you get hit, it will also tell you how far off you were. Let me do it this way. Like for example, let's try to low parry this, but be off. Notice those bars still show up like you were way off. Or if you get hit and then you try to parry, the bars show up like, ah, you were too late. Notice that the bars show up red if you were too late. It's like, eh, oh, 2 bars, you were just too late. Or a bunch of red bars, you were way too late. Or a bunch of blue bars, you were really early, but it still worked. Or what, like, you know, less blue bars means much closer to the timing. There we go. 2. So that's what those bars are for. They tell you how close you are, or how late you were to the parry timing. And if they show up blue, that means they're successful. Red means you were too late. So that's just about all the systems in Yatagarasu. That's everything I want to tell you about parries in Yatagarasu. It's quite a lot to absorb, but if you understand the parry system, you'll really learn how to take advantage of people that are too predictable, or how to avoid chip death, or how to take advantage of people that always super jump and parry, and things like that. So if you use all that information, your offense and defensive abilities will skyrocket in this game, and I hope that they do for you. With that said, that's everything. That's all the parries. And that's all the systems and mechanics. The next video should be a character-specific video. It'll be an introduction video on one of the 8 characters of Yatagarasu. I hope you pick up the game when Attack on Cataclysm comes out. I know I will. I will see you guys later.
We're on a strict time table.
Hey.
You will not